Noisy. Niche RPGs tend to use insane premises and lewd systems to grab the player's attention. While some only focus on these elements, it's interesting when the systems are intertwined with the story itself. What's more interesting is when it actually begins to make sense. Spike Chunsoft's Conception Plus Maidens of the 12 Stars does just that in a game about birthing children to take with you into a dungeon to fight.
Please, listen carefully. I think I'm pregnant.
Conception Plus begins with some massive news for the main protagonist. His childhood friend is pregnant without actually having intercourse. The moment the two try to figure things out, a portal opens and they are whisked off to an alternate world. So we find out that the main protagonist is God's gift, and his childhood friend, along with 11 other females, make up the Maidens of the 12 Stars. Here's where things get interesting because Conception Plus is very much a dating sim. God's gift and the 12 maidens will need to produce what is known as star children who will help fight in dungeons that are threatening this universe. While it's essential that the player fights through a series of 12 themed dungeons, they must also make sure that the relationship with each of the girls is on good standing. The game loop has players speak with the maidens and answer questions to raise their relationship level, make star children with them, then run a dungeon made up of 5 floors and fight a boss. The first time through the game loop is probably the most tedious because star children max out their levels at around 10. This means you'll have to release star children and replace them with level 1 characters with higher max levels. I'm sure you can see how grindy this makes the game. It's good to mention that the game does become more streamlined after the first few hours. This is because your party is now above level 20 and your equipment is also powerful. The automated systems in the game allow players to auto battle enemies as well as speed up the fights. Star children each have a job class that is determined by the player at birth. This allows you to control what type of party you create, and there's enough options here to create some pretty unique groups. If you aren't in the mood for a dating sim, then you should probably stay away from this game since most of the playtime is spent in dialogue with these girls. During conversations, the girls will ask questions, and it's pretty essential to get the correct answer to raise the relationship level with them and produce stronger star children. I didn't have a problem keeping all the girls happy, but it was clear who my favorites were by the second half of the game.
Oh, Big Brother. Good morning. I fell asleep for a bit.
Each of the girls has a unique preference and personality. This makes it tough to skip through their dialogue. What makes it even tougher to disregard these scenes is just how complex these characters can be. At first they all seem pretty well put together and set in their ways, but then you discover things about each of them as they reveal their past and secrets to you. The dungeon crawling in the game is pretty decent, and not the highlight of this adventure by any means. However, team management and growing the city by releasing powerful star children offers enjoyable moments throughout the game. The boss battles aren't epic save for the final chapter, but the only reason why anyone would stay around this long is if they had a waifu that they wanted to see the adventure through with. As for presentation, Conception Plus's world is menu-based, while the dungeons are procedurally generated. Dungeon design is mostly copy and paste layouts with a few different themes and gimmicks, but nothing special. Character models are pretty good and feature different poses and lots of jiggly features, if you know what I mean. Each character has a decent illustration, but the game's CGs are what I strive for because they were just charming and only acquired when you raise the relationship level high enough with a girl.
My stomach.
Conception Plus is a great dating sim, so if that's what you're looking for, then look no further. There are subtle clues that the writers drop about Japanese culture, which shows more prominently in the later parts of the game. However, to get through all these moments, you'll need to complete dungeons. Luckily, the automated systems are present to help players get through the dungeon crawling and back to their waifus. The game becomes entertaining when you start to manage your party and manually create groups of star children. It's these later parts of the game that ends up showing the better sides of this adventure. Conception Plus is extremely niche, but it's a game that does what it's trying to do well. And in the event that you enjoy being called God's gift or Big Brother, then you've just struck gold with this title. Noisy Pixel is giving Conception Plus Maidens of the 12 Stars a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Please read the full review at noisypixel.net. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers who work hard to deliver news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe to keep up with all our future content.